Hi guys, Oscar Hoyt, owner of Rusty's Body Works. First off, I would like to thank each and every one of you guys. We had a great year in 2017, and we owe it all to you guys. We're grateful and very thankful that you trusted us with your collision repairs. We know there are plenty of other options out there, and for you to choose us, that means a great deal to us. Also for your great reviews that you've left on our Facebook and Google. That also means a whole lot to us, and we also encourage you that if you haven't left a 5-star review or a great review for Facebook or Google, if you would please do so. That helps the word get out and lets more people know that we are a trusted repair center, and it shares your experience and helps us grow. We will be the hands down greatest collision center in this area, and all that just contributes to our growth. Also like to thank the insurance adjusters that we worked with. Sometimes that can be a stressful relationship. We tend to be on opposite ends of the claims. We're with documented procedures from a manufacturer telling us to fix one thing, and they're left trying to justify the cost to their boss. Sometimes that can be interesting, and I would like to thank them for remaining, for the most part, professional and helping you get reimbursed for your proper repairs, for your safe repairs, without too much conflict. It means a lot because this can be challenging at times. So on to 2018. We are very excited. I just took a class about some of the new stuff that's coming in with the new cars. There's all sorts of pedestrian avoidance. The one car will actually help you steer around a pedestrian if you're not reacting in time. All sorts of aluminums, composites, different high-strength steels, all that, actually different headlight technology, along with all the collision avoidance systems that are in cars now. And that really excites me to take those classes and learn this stuff. And if you knew me in high school, you would be laughing right now because I wasn't exactly the best student. However, now I can't get enough of it. I'm very passionate, if you can't tell. We also will be doing more of these videos. We get a lot of reaction. A lot of people still talk about the April Fool's video that I did about buffing a car with a pig fat. Still, I had a guy the other day stop and get out and shake my hand, said it was one of the funniest things he ever seen. That's the only reason he stopped. We enjoy doing stuff, we enjoy that, but we're also going to do some more videos to bring awareness about proper repairs and to let you see what some of the stuff that collision shops have to do in order to make these repairs. We're going to kind of pull the veil back a little bit and let you see what goes on in a shop. That part of that is the reason why this Mustang is behind me. We also in 2018 are looking to maybe putting together a car show. We've been approached by several different people saying that because of the unique and different and exotic cars that we sometimes have out front as we're working on them, that they think we would put together a good show, and it's a good idea. We would like a charity to benefit from that, so we're looking into that. If you have any ideas, tips, hints, I haven't put a car show together before, so this is new territory for me. I would welcome your help, and it would be grateful, but I do want it to be huge. I do want all of our clients and other people to get together that are passionate about cars and show off their passion, show off their toy. So that brings me to why this Mustang is here. The other day I was speaking with an elected official, and that elected official and I were discussing some of these tests that Burroughs Collision and Todd Tracy Law Firm were doing with a Honda Fit. They took 3 of them. One of them is untouched, one of them is improperly repaired, and a third is built with counterfeit parts or aftermarket parts if you want to put lipstick on that pig. So what we're finding is the counterfeit parts are, or what they are finding is the counterfeit parts are not directing the collision energy properly. It's delaying the airbag. One case, it actually kind of jammed the driver's door up, made it look like it might have been a little more difficult to get out of. In the event of a wreck, being trapped in a wrecked car is never fun. So as I was discussing this with the elected official, their response was, it doesn't matter if people sell their car every year or two anyways. That really, it didn't sit well with me, One, I had a elected official tell me decisions aren't really long term, that it goes away. You know, you can turn the corner and it goes away. They may not have meant it that way. That's the way I interpreted it. We didn't get to finish it, and I'm not going to turn this into a Rush Limbaugh political segment. I don't like complaining about stuff. I would much rather go. I will follow up with that individual, and we will address it and see what they meant. But what also that got me thinking, and actually kept me awake at night some as I was thinking about it, is that I don't think maybe the general public understands the importance of a proper repair. For years in the past, the collision industry was just kind of make it shiny, make it look right on the outside, ship it down the road. Because of the way the vehicles are now, they have to be lighter, get better gas mileage, and they have to be safer, all while combining that lighter and safer, and all these safety features can make it difficult for a repair at times. We have to follow strict procedures set in place by the manufacturer in order to make sure your vehicle maintains the value, and more importantly, make sure your vehicle maintains its safety. Because every part of this vehicle is linked to the next part, and it all works together to save your life. So I got me thinking, how do I get people to understand that repairs are important? How do I get people to understand that it does matter, even if you sell that car, even if you trade it in, that having your vehicle repaired properly is very important? And this comes in, and I think this is a pretty good example. This car was bought for someone's kid. Carfax was pulled. It was checked out thoroughly. We could tell that this side had been painted. Now, we didn't check it out before it was bought, but you can tell this side's been painted. It's probably a 6 or 7 out of a 10 on a paint scale, but you can't see really any evidence of a collision repair, just maybe some paint work. Nothing on the Carfax, not even about the paint work. It's been sold a few times, went to an auction, ended up at a dealer, and then bought. And here it is. Now, what it is, it came in, it needs a door, someone backed into it. So as we're doing that and we're disassembling it to put the door on, we actually pull Ford's procedures for the door. Tells us unbolt it, bolt a new one on, but we want to make sure we're doing everything correctly, because there is electronic devices in these doors. Part of the side impact system is affected by replacing a door. So as we're disassembling this, we notice what is called wormholes back here. And what that is where a screw had been through there at one time, and they pushed plastic filler, or as people tend to call it, Bondo, through there. And much like a Play-Doh factory, if you push the Play-Doh in, it shoots out like a worm. Well, it left these little worms back here, and that tipped us off that, hey, there's something's amiss. So we started looking closer, and then we noticed these factory spot welds here disappear right here, and it's smooth all the way down to here. And what that does is that let us know this quarter panel had been replaced. It had also been tipped us off that it was improperly replaced. And what we found as we went to digging is there are burn marks all around the inside here, and then under the back glass pinch weld. And those burn marks are not from welds. That's from when they removed the damaged panel. Their grinder got the inner structure a little too hot, and it blistered the paint. And what it is that may be fine and all. The Ford wants you to drill these out. They don't want it ground out. They don't want that extra heat on the inner structure that may be high strength steel. But they didn't even put corrosion protection or paint, a primer, nail polish, lipstick. They didn't put anything on. They just left it bare metal to rust and corrode, and that affects the longevity of this repair. Not only that, they sectioned this quarter panel here, and when they did, they went up and they went across the top, which is a lot of work. They didn't do it correctly. They just beat this down, put the new quarter panel on, and then dressed it up with some plastic filler. Ford, since we had the instructions for the door, we pulled up the quarter panel to reassure us, and I actually contacted a local Ford dealership and had them consult. They have a full-time staff member that interprets the repair plans, or the repair procedures rather, from Ford, and they did confirm that these quarter panels are to be weld bonded. And what weld bonding is, it is a structural adhesive and then a resistance weld on it. So it's welds and a structural adhesive. It's not just glue. And it is to be sectioned here and back here where I marked it with the blue lines. Ford actually requires 3 sections, 2 here, 1 at the rocker, instead of 2 sections like this one is repaired. Now, where this gets into being an unsafe repair, because some people will actually argue that glue is a legitimate repair procedure, even though Ford says to glue and weld and not just glue. And where this becomes dangerous is as we were, actually I was walking by and I saw a little gap in the pinch weld, and I grabbed a razor blade that was nearby and I stuck it in there, and it just went into that pinch weld. Now what that does is, that got me looking, and I've misplaced there it is. What happened is I grabbed a old busted up screwdriver and I stuck in that pinch weld, and that glue, excuse me, not weld, this isn't welded, this is just glue, came loose with very, very little effort. So what that tells me is, not only did they not follow procedures and glued this quarter panel on, they didn't even glue it correctly. So what does this do? All right, all the outer panels, this whole vehicle it's basically a safety system that is designed to protect the occupant. So everything is linked to the next panel. So if this panel is not properly installed, it's not going to do its job correctly in the event of another collision. So if it's hitting the side, it's going to bust loose. It's not going to transfer energy correctly. If it's hitting the rear, it may pop off. It may not transfer the energy correctly. It could jam the door up, trapping an occupant, and keep in mind the fuel tank's in the back. And this is all worst case. I can't tell you what would happen in a collision. We're not going to crash test this, obviously. But I do have to make a phone call to a vehicle owner and not give them good news. This is actually a very serious issue, and we need to try to track down who did this. This actually makes me very angry. I was actually more angry at this than being kept awake at night, not knowing how to explain to people proper repairs matter. This was done by someone in an industry that I'm passionate about, and someone, I'll tell you this, if one of my employees did something like this, they would no longer work here, and we would own it and we would repair it properly. But we take steps to make sure this does not happen. I want to be very, very clear about that. So this is why it matters for proper repairs, because someone's kid is going to be in a car. What if you put your kids in a car? And keep in mind, this says clean Carfax. We actually ran a VIN check on it to make sure from another company, and it doesn't, there's no evidence of a collision. And what this is this was, if it was written correctly, this would be about a $7,000 or $8,000 repair. And now, because they repaired it incorrectly, it's probably somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000, because now this panel has to be replaced, the quarter panel has to be replaced, and to replace this roof rail panel, the roof needs to be replaced. So now, because someone didn't do something correctly, they actually created more damage, more work, and devalued the car. And keep in mind, I don't want to talk bad about Carfax. I think they're an important tool, any of them. But I do want to take this time to extend an offer that if you are buying a used car and you're suspicious or you just want us to check it out, we will do everything we can to see that it is repaired correctly. If there was a repair, we can measure the paint thickness and tell if something has been refinished. We have an endoscope. We can stick in some little nooks and crannies and see if there was a panel replaced. The obvious thing is to look up front on, make sure the VIN tag is on the panels. If that manufacturer does it, some of them hide them a little bit. And if you see a counterfeit part or a made in Taiwan sticker or a Kappa sticker, run from that. None of those are crash tested, other than what Burroughs Collision and Todd Tracy Law Firm did, and it's not good results. They're not safe. That's it, guys. I just wanted to bring this out and show you that this is improper. We will be doing another video showing you weld bonding, showing you how that is done and showing you the difference. So weld bonding, you definitely cannot pry it apart with a little flimsy screwdriver. It is what Ford requires, and many other manufacturers actually require it now too. But just stay tuned, follow our blog on our webpage, rustysbodyworks.com. Our Facebook, we'll be doing more videos, contests, all that. Just keep following us, keep spreading the word. Again, we thank you for last year, and we're going to thank you in advance because we know 2018, you guys are going to help us grow. You're going to keep referring us, and we appreciate that. And you have our word. We're going to do everything in our power to do proper repairs, to do the correct repair, and to work for you in the event of a collision. We're not going to cut someone a discount in order to refer work because we know the most powerful referral is from our satisfied customers. And again, thank you very much, and stay tuned. We got a lot more videos coming, and we're going to have a good time. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.